Changing direct speech into indirect speech can seem tricky at first, but with a few helpful tips and tricks, you'll find it's easier than you think. Let's dive right in. First off, remember that when you convert direct speech to indirect speech, the verb tenses often shift back. For instance, if you have a simple present tense in direct speech, it usually changes to simple past in indirect speech. For example, if someone says, I eat pizza, you would report it as, he said he ate pizza. Now, here's a key tip. When you're dealing with past reported speech, the simple past tense changes to past perfect. So, if the direct speech is, I watched the movie, it becomes, she said she had watched the movie. This is a simple yet effective way to remember the transformation. Another common change involves the past continuous tense. If the direct speech is, I was reading a book, it shifts to, he said he had been reading a book. The past continuous becomes past perfect continuous. Keeping these patterns in mind can really streamline the process. Let's not forget about modal verbs. They can be a bit tricky. For example, if someone says, I can swim, in indirect speech, it changes to, he said he could swim. The modal verb can shift to could. Similarly, will changes to would, and may changes to might. Just remember, modals often take a step back in time. Now, what about time expressions? They also change when you switch to indirect speech. If the direct speech includes today, it usually changes to that day. Tomorrow becomes the next day, and yesterday turns into the day before. These small shifts can make a big difference in clarity. Another helpful tip is to pay attention to pronouns. They often need to be adjusted based on the context. For instance, if the direct speech is, I love my dog, and you're reporting it from a third-person perspective, it becomes, she said she loved her dog. Keeping track of who is speaking and who is being spoken about is crucial. Lastly, practice makes perfect. The more you practice converting direct speech to indirect speech, the more natural it will feel. Try writing down sentences in direct speech and then converting them. You'll start to notice the patterns and rules become second nature. So, remember these tips. Shift your tenses back, adjust your modals, change your time expressions, and keep an eye on those pronouns. With these tricks in your toolkit, you'll be a pro at changing direct speech into indirect speech in no time.